the vampire. She rose among us where we lay. She wept, we put our work away. She chilled our laughter and stilled our play, and spread a silence there. And darkness shot across the sky, and once and twice we heard her cry, and saw her lift white hands on high, and toss her troubled hair. What shape was this who came to us, with basilisk eyes so ominous, with mouth so sweet, so poisonous, and tortured hands so pale? We saw her wavering to and fro, through dark and wind we saw her go, yet what her name was did not know, and felt our spirits fail. We tried to turn away, but still above we heard her sorrow thrill, and those that slept, they dreamed of ill and dreadful things, of skies grown red with rending flames, and shuddering hills that cracked their frames, of twilights foul with wings. And skeletons dancing to a tune, and cries of children stifled soon, and over all a blood-red moon, a dull and nightmare size. They woke and sought to go their ways, yet everywhere they met her gaze, her fixed and burning eyes. "Who are you now?" we cried to her, spirit so strange, so sinister. We felt dead winds above us stir, and in the darkness heard a voice fall, singing, cloying sweet, heavily dropping through that heat, heavy as honeyed pulses beat, slow word by anguished word. And through the night strange music went, with voice and cry so darkly blent, we could not fathom what they meant, save only that they seemed to thin the blood along our veins, foretelling vile, delirious pains, and clouds divulging blood-red rains upon a hill undreamed. And this we heard: "Who dies for me, he shall possess me secretly. My terrible beauty he shall see, and slake my body's flame. But who denies me, cursed shall be, and slain and buried loathsomely, and slimed upon with shame." And darkness fell, and like a sea of stumbling deaths we followed, we, who dared not stay behind, where all night long beneath a cloud we rose and fell, we struck and bowed. We were the plowmen and the plowed, our eyes were red and blind. And some, they said, had touched her side before she fled us there, and some had taken her to bride, and some laid down for her and died. Who had not touched her hair ran to and fro, and cursed and cried, and sought her everywhere. Her eyes have feasted on the dead, and small and shapely is her head, and dark and small her mouth, they said, and beautiful to kiss. Her mouth is sinister and red, as blood in moonlight is. Then poets forget their jeweled words, and cut the sky with glittering swords, and innocent souls turned carrion birds to perch upon the dead. Sweet daisy fields were drenched with death, the air became a charnel breath, pale stones were splashed with red. Green leaves were dappled bright with blood, and fruit trees murdered in the bud. And when at length the dawn came green as twilight from the east, and all that heaving horror ceased, silent was every bird and beast, and that dark voice was gone. No word was there, no song, no bell, no furious tongue that dreamed to tell, only the dead who rose and fell above the wounded men, and whisperings in wails of pain, blown slowly from the wounded grain, blown slowly from the smoking plain, and silence fallen again. Until at dusk, from God knows where, beneath dark birds that filled the air, like one who did not hear or care, under a blood-red cloud, an aged plowman came alone, and drove his share through flesh and bone, and turned them under to mold and stone. All night long he plowed. The cold earth slept below. The cold earth slept below. Above the cold sky shone, and all around with a chilling sound, from caves of ice and fields of snow, the breath of night, like death did flow, beneath the sinking moon. The wintry hedge was black, the green grass was not seen. The birds did rest on the bare thorn's breast, whose roots beside the pathway track had bound their folds o'er many a crack, which the frost had made between. Thine eyes glowed in the glare of the moon's dying light, as a fen fire's beam on a sluggish stream gleams dimly, so the moon shone there, and it yellowed the strings of thy raven hair that shook in the wind of night. The moon made thy lips pale, beloved, the wind made thy bosom chill, the night did shed on thy dear head its frozen dew, and thou didst lie with the bitter breath of the naked sky, might visit thee at will. The Possessed. The sun and crepe has muffled up his fire. Moon of my life, half shade yourself like him. Slumber or smoke, be silent and be dim, and in the gulf of ennui plunge entire. I love you thus, however, if you like some bright star from its eclipse emerging, to flaunt with folly, where the crowds are surging, flash, lovely dagger, from your sheath and strike. Light up your eyes from chandeliers of glass. Light up, and the lustful looks of louts that passed, morbid or petulant, I thrill before you. Be what you will, black night or crimson dawn, no fiber of my body tightly drawn, but cries, beloved demon, I adore you. Do not go gentle into that good night. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, they learned too late, they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my Father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Acquainted with the night. I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet when far away an interrupted cry came over the houses from another street. But not to call me back or say goodbye. And further still, at an unearthly height, one luminary clock against the sky proclaimed the time was neither wrong nor right. I have been one acquainted with the night. I felt a funeral in my brain. I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading, till it seemed that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service like a drum kept beating till I thought my mind was going numb. And then I heard them lift a box and creak across my soul with those same boots of lead again. Then space began to toll, as all the heavens were a bell, and being but an ear, and I the silence, some strange race, wrecked, solitary here. And then a plank in reason broke, and I dropped down and hit a world at every plunge, and finished knowing then. A dream within a dream. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet, if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep. O God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? O God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream.